Many a time, I go to a gymnasium where I meet different people. I try to do some exercises in order to stay alive, of course, but then there's also human contact. I meet all different types of people, many of them retired like myself, others still in working condition. But one of my friends, his name is Kenneth Chaitman. Ken, great to see you today.
Thank you.
I want to greet you because you impressed me very much. You impressed me very much because I think you're a very fine human being. You're a responsible human being. You're a decent human being. From what I know about you, great. But what impressed me in particular is one day when suddenly you recited a poem. And you recited it word by word, and you're not a youngster. And you have it all in your mind. But it's not that. What really impressed me was the meaning, the depth of the words that you were saying. There was one in particular about the Holocaust. How does that go?
We witnessed the Holocaust, saw millions die. We watched others unfold right before our eyes. We swore that this would never happen again. When do we stop it? If not now, when? I won't send my son to a far-off land. It's their problem, not ours. Don't they understand? Those words sound familiar as women and children die and cities begin to crumble right before our eyes. We build memorials to honor the dead so future generations will never forget. How sad it is that the future is now as ethnic cleansing takes place and the world wonders how. Books are written and pictures are seen, but the world looks at it like another bad dream.
You know, Ken, why that impressed me in particular? Because I think that it is important to leave some kind of memorial, also a vocal memorial about the Holocaust. But the fact that it doesn't belong to history. You know, it repeats itself, maybe not the same way. You know, anti-Semitism in particular is a very light sleeper. And we see now that in Europe and in different parts of the world, there are new expressions of antagonism toward Jews, toward other minorities as well. So I think that to memorialize the Holocaust is very important because it is not only a part of history of something that happened, it is something that is pertinent today. So I want to congratulate you for that because you help us to remember. But I also heard something about a butterfly, and suddenly it was an important lesson. What does that go like?
As I walk through the park, I see a cocoon. A butterfly was trying to break out of its womb. I watched it struggle as it tried to break out. So I made a slight cut that will help it a lot. When it finally broke through, I felt so relieved. Yet when he tried to fly, he only rose a few feet. Again it tried, went up in the air, only to come down in utter despair. I realize it now. I clipped its wing. I made a cripple of a beautiful thing. If I waited a little bit longer, it would have made it by itself. It would have come out much stronger. Now it will always need help. When your children cry out that they won certain things, remember the butterfly. Let them spread their own wings.
You know, I'm amazed, Ken, that you wrote these poems. You know,
something I lived.
Well, it's amazing. You have tremendous feeling, and you also have a lot of talent. And I think there's a very important lesson there, that sometimes we try to give our children too much, and we don't let them stand on their own feet. It seems that we human beings don't learn by somebody else's mistakes. We have to make our own mistakes. So you have to let your children, you have to let the young people try it on their own, and they will learn from their own mistakes. And you said it so beautifully in this poem that you wrote. I want one more poem from you. Okay, you wrote this one also, Perfection.
Yeah.
How does that go?
Well, perfection is something that people are always looking for.
Yes.
And it just can't be had.
Can't be had.
What am I thinking? What's going through my brain? Looking for life's perfection, trying to eliminate all pain. Trying to prepare life, you find it all in vain. You never really live. Life becomes a drain. Hanging on to old habits, never letting go. What is this perfection? It's a killer, this I know. Don't look for perfection. It's nowhere around. Fools spend a lifetime. It's never to be found.
You know, Ken, in religion they teach us that the only perfect being is God. We human beings are not perfect. However, we are perfectible. We can look for it. We have to work for it. You know, something that is perfect doesn't change, doesn't grow. But we human beings, because we are not perfect, we can change and we can grow. Well, it's amazing how you did not waste your years, Ken, because all these years, your reflections, your thoughts are being put on in beautiful poems, and I think they're tremendous didactic value for anybody who will listen to them.
But I lived it.
You lived it.
I saw all things that happened to my first wife. She died of cancer. And she's always telling me, you got to keep going, you got to keep going. And I wrote a poem for her, which is, it just gets to me. And I wrote, I feel so sad, but tears won't flow. There's so much hurt that no one knows. I see my love so racked with pain. I wonder how she stays so sane. She tells me, dear, you must be strong. There's still a world where you belong. The life we had has all been blessed. You loved me true. God did the rest. The end has come, and peace prevails. Her strength and courage had never failed. And in my heart, she'll always be the beautiful lady that loved only me. And I just can't forget her. And I wrote these words, and it really started bringing peace to me.
Well, Ken, I think that this has to come from your experience. Yeah. I think these poems cannot be something that you learned from a book, from somebody else. Those are life experiences. No?
100%.
How old are you, Ken?
87.
87. And look at how great you are and how sharp your mind is.
So,
amazing, amazing. Well, I want to wish you good health, many more years, and you should have rich experiences, and you should be able to put them down in poetry or in writing so that many of us can benefit from your wisdom. Thank you very much, Ken.
But it's you that
thank
brings the best out in me.
Thank you, Ken.